They know that I'm on a magic mountain. So many calls, man, I stop counting.
All right, bro. Basically, it starts like this. I live in Alabama. I live in deep South Alabama, bro. So it's obvious I was raised to be an Alabama fan. There's no questioning that. Growing up, that's all I was told. Bama this, Bama that, Bama this, Bama that, Bama this, Bama that. You cheer for your state team, basically. That's what most people do. And, I don't have a problem with that, honestly, because I still love South Alabama Jaguars, right? I support all the local Alabama teams, right? Alabama A&M, Alabama State, South Alabama, UAB. You name them, and I support them. Except the University of Alabama. Because as a kid, like I said, I was raised to be a Bama fan. That's all I heard growing up, and it was shoved so far down my throat. I couldn't breathe, man. I couldn't breathe. I was forced to like Alabama. And that's where it all started. That's where my hate began. And then I started to realize Alabama fans aren't that smart. They're dumb as fuck, honestly. They're dumb as hell. You can look at someone and be like, well, he's not the smartest guy, but maybe he's not the dumbest. No, Alabama fans are dumb. They're retarded. Mentally unstable. And that's just the truth about Alabama fans. And I realized that, and again, that's just where the hate started. Look. Traffic. Oh. It's so yeah, that's just where it all began, and I started to hate Alabama more and more. Every time someone told me, you're supposed to cheer for Alabama, you're supposed to like Alabama. No. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to support Alabama anymore. I'm going to find a new team. And you're like, oh, this is where, he becomes an LSU fan. No, not necessarily, no. I didn't know which team I wanted to support. I knew it didn't want to be Alabama. But I was like, I got to find a new team. Someone that hates Alabama just as much as I do, So, I started to like Oregon a little bit, right? Around the time that they were really good, too. This was around 2013, 14, I started to like Oregon. I'm like, yeah, I like Oregon. Had Marcus Mariota at the time. I was like, yeah, man, I mess with Oregon hard. Let's do it. Let's pick Oregon. So, I liked Oregon for about a year or two. They made the national championship, and I thought they were going to play Alabama, but they ended up playing Ohio State, which, I got to laugh at Alabama for losing that game, but to Ohio State. But Oregon got blew out in that game. So, like I said, around that time, I was an Oregon fan, People want to say I was a bandwagon. I was like 10 years old, pimp. What are we talking about? Of course, I was a bandwagon at 10 years old. Every kid's a bandwagon at 10 years old. Picking the good teams. I just wanted to pick someone that wasn't Alabama. It didn't matter who it was. But then come later, about a year later, I realized I'm growing up. I need a real team. Who hates Alabama just as much as I do? Not that Oregon wasn't a real team, but as a 10-year-old kid, like I said, you're just going to like anyone, And I knew LSU hated Alabama just as much as I did. And I hated Auburn, too, so there's no way I was rooting for Auburn. No way. And so around 2015, the Leonard Fournette, I don't remember who the quarterback was for LSU at the time, but they had Leonard Fournette that year. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. I'm an LSU fan. I'm an LSU fan. And since then, since 2015, really, I know they got blew out, or did they get blew out? I know they lost to Alabama that year, and Leonard Fournette got shut down. But that's pretty much when I became an LSU fan, back in 2015. Like I said, I knew they hated Alabama just as much as I did. Still do. And as a 10-year-old kid, like I said, I was just flipping between teams, Grew up being an Alabama fan, switched to Oregon. Didn't care so much, so I started liking LSU. And yeah, since then, I've pretty much been an LSU fan. Started watching football a lot more, started hating Alabama a lot more. I hate Alabama so much that if they lost every game, that would be like LSU winning the national championship to me. That would be like my New Orleans Saints winning the Super Bowl if Alabama lost every game. I hate them so much, man. And people always wondered why I live in South Alabama going for LSU as an LSU fan, I'm like, bro, because y'all are sorry. I hate Alabama, not the state. I love the state I live in. I don't, you know, I want to live here the rest of my life, honestly. I love the state, but I hate the University of Alabama football team, right? Nothing wrong with the university, and I'm not, come on now, this is football here, not whatever. And your fans, y'all are just dumb. You're sorry, you're retarded, you're stupid, whatever. You don't know much about the sport to begin with, you feel me? So yeah, I'm an LSU fan living in South Alabama, and it's hard. Pretty much the only LSU fan around here, hot dang. Tell you what. And she might be wearing white, but her first dress, it was pink. She might be your better half, but to me, she's everything. We'll both love her forever, but I loved her long before. And one day I know I'll give her away. Buddy, that don't mean she's yours. Even if she takes your last name. Buddy, that don't mean she's yours. But yeah, that's basically how it started. I just picked a random team, pretty much. You know, keep a long story short. I just picked a random team in 2015 in LSU, and I've stuck with it since. Now, how has it gone? We've beat Alabama twice since 2015. Lost in 15, 16, 17, 18. Beat them in 19. Pretty much destroyed them that game. Even though it was, you know, only a 5-point game. We destroyed them the entire game. Lost in 2020 pretty bad. Lost in 21, which was close. Beat them in 22, and that was amazing. 23 we lost, but Jaden Daniels had a breakout game. And in 24, games this week, partner. Buckle up, man. We're going for a ride to Baton Rouge. That's right, Alabama has to come to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to play LSU. It's not going to end well for you. It's not. Bama fans, I'm here to tell you. Meet me in the mall. It's going down. Meet me in the club. It's going down. Yeah, we beat them all. It's going down. It's going down, man. It's going down. Here's the thing. LSU still has a chance to get in the SEC championship. Alabama doesn't. Cry about it. LSU's better. Pimp.
Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke. Homie, no cap.